If you're looking for an easy, creamy weeknight dinner that the whole family will love, this chicken Alfredo with broccoli is always a winner in our house. Hi everyone! Today I'm making my oldest daughter's favorite dinner, creamy chicken Alfredo with broccoli. It's one of those comforting family meals that always disappears fast around our dinner table. To get a head start, I pre-cooked the chicken in our sous vide cooker. We've had this little gadget for well over 10 years, and we absolutely love how juicy and tender it makes our meat. Once everything is set up, and there's enough water in the container so it doesn't start beeping at me, I set the temperature to 64 degrees Celsius. Then I place the chicken in a sturdy zip-top freezer bag and clip it to the side of the water bath with a couple of clothespins. Once the water reaches temperature, I let the chicken cook for about 35 minutes. If we're eating the chicken straight from the sous vide, I'll usually leave it in for at least an hour. Since it's going to finish cooking in the frying pan today, a shorter cooking time works just fine. Of course, if you don't have a sous vide, don't worry at all. You can simply cook the chicken in the frying pan from start to finish. Once the chicken was ready, I took it out of the water bath and turned off the sous vide. Then I cleaned my large pot so I could use it to cook the fettuccine. While I waited for the pasta water to come to a boil, I cut the chicken into bite-sized pieces and set it aside. Next, I filled a medium pot, halfway with water, and brought it to a boil for the broccoli. I wanted the broccoli nice and tender, so it would blend beautifully into the Alfredo sauce. Once my pasta water was boiling, I added about a third of a package of fettuccine. And yes, I always break my noodles in half. I know some of you are probably cringing right now, but it's just how I've always done it. I find they're much easier to cook and eat that way. I lowered the heat and let the pasta simmer for about 11 to 13 minutes, giving it a stir every so often so it wouldn't stick together. While everything was cooking, I also grabbed the fresh green beans that I had in the fridge from our local farmer's market to serve on the side. I washed them, trimmed the ends, and added them to a small pot. Once the broccoli was fork tender, I drained it and gave it a rough chop. I like chopping it up a little smaller so it mixes evenly throughout the sauce, and every bite gets a little broccoli. When the pasta was finished cooking, I drained it in a colander and let it rest while I heated up the frying pan. I added the chicken to the pan and used my spoon to break it into even smaller pieces. Then I stirred in the chopped broccoli until everything was well combined. Next came the best part, the Alfredo sauce. I poured the whole jar into the pan, then added a splash of water to the empty jar, gave it a shake, and poured the rest into the pan too. There's no way I'm letting any of that delicious creamy sauce go to waste. I let everything simmer together over low heat for a few minutes so all those flavors could come together. While the sauce was finishing, I added the cooked fettuccine to a large serving bowl. The green beans were ready too. So after draining them, I added a tablespoon of margarine, although butter works just as well, and seasoned them with a little salt and pepper before giving everything a quick toss. Once the Alfredo mixture was nice and hot, I turned off the burner and carefully poured it over the noodles. Then I used my tongs to mix everything together until every strand of pasta was coated in that rich, creamy sauce. This time I finally got the pasta to sauce ratio just right. Sometimes I underestimate how much pasta expands while cooking and end up with way too many noodles. But today, my daughter actually said at dinner, "Mom, how did you get it so creamy today?" I think I finally cracked the code. And there you have it, a simple, family-friendly dinner that's ready in about 30 minutes, not counting the sous vide time. We like to sprinkle a little Kraft Parmesan on top before serving. I know it's not the fancy, freshly grated kind, but it's what we like, and it adds that perfect cheesy finish. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's recipe, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bon appétit!